Rock then?
I'm speaking on behalf of Jim Rock, who concedes his time to Eric Morrison, who speaks for a lot of us who are not getting paid to be here.
Good evening, my name is Eric Morrison, and I have a PhD in chemistry from Penn State. I would like to address the Clean Water Act, Section 404, which allows the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to authorize discharge into and destruction of wetlands by allowing land exchange. The wetland that PolyMet is seeking a permit to discharge into is called the 100-mile swamp. Shortly before its release, the following line was added to the wetlands section of the environmental impact statement, and I quote, "However, no delineated boundary exists for the 100-mile swamp," end quote. This statement is in fact completely incorrect. Delineated boundaries for the 100-mile swamp do exist, and they are available at the U.S. Government National Atlas at www.nationalatlas.gov/streamer. The U.S. Government National Atlas shows that the 100-mile swamp is drained by Langley Creek, which is a tributary to the Duncan River, which is in turn a tributary to the Kawishmi River, which runs straight to the boundary waters. It is an inconvenient fact that the authors of the environmental impact statement simply do not want to recognize that mine waste will flow to the boundary waters by way of the 100-mile swamp and the Duncan River. Worse than just adding the statement about the delineation of the 100-mile swamp, they redo the maps of the 100-mile swamp so as to omit the part of the swamp that drains to the Duncan River. This first incorrect map appears on page 472 of the SDEIS and is in at least 5 other maps. On the basis of a redrawn map, attention has been diverted from the boundary waters. No baseline water testing was done in Langley Creek or in the Duncan River or any other part of the boundary waters watershed, and nor would any testing be done if mining were allowed. This leaves the Duncan River and the BWCA completely and utterly unprotected. The boundary waters are a national treasure, and what I request is a federal level environmental impact evaluation. I'm concerned that local and even state officials would sell the treasure of the BWCA for the proverbial nickel on the promise of a kickback or trickle-back penny. This is short-sighted, and it violates the public trust of American citizens and future generations. At a minimum, I'm requesting Governor Dayton compel a longer public review period of 180 days for this SDIS, and compel a subsequent SDIS which has the correct geographical features in it and requires water testing